This is where things start to become a little bit weird. So, there is a book that was generated, and it was titled The Shooting of Charlie Kirk, written by the author Anastasia Casey. Now, the weird thing about this book is that this book was published on Amazon one day prior to Charlie Kirk's unfortunate shooting that happened on the Utah University campus. Amazon has confirmed that it was published on September the 9th, again, one day prior to the unfortunate event, the shooting of Charlie Kirk. Again, Anastasia J. Casey. This is the problem. How could this person had put out a book on the day prior to someone's unfortunate event of being killed and have so many details to it? Well, people on the internet, social media started having questions. And it did strum up the question with many news outlets. Like, for instance, here, the shooting of Charlie Kirk, a mysterious book on Donald Trump's allies' murder surfaces online. And there was like another one update. An Amazon spokesperson confirmed that the company had investigated the book in question. Here it says, reports surfaced regarding a book by an author named Anastasia J. Casey that appeared on Amazon shortly after the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk on September 10, 2025. The book, titled The Shooting of Charlie Kirk, drew significant attention because its Amazon listing briefly showed a publication date of September 9, 2025. One day before Kirk had been murdered. Now, Amazon's explanation was this, because they really had to look into this because this was like a real concern. And so their explanation was this. Amazon later removed the book and issued a statement. You see that, okay, first of all, the book was created. And see, you can't alter because I've published a book through Amazon. You can't like put up a book and then decide, oh, just for a few moments, I'm going to change the date and I'm going to change some critical information about the publishing of this book. It can take anywhere from, you need at least 72 hours to have that change to reflect your request. Once you go into your account and make those adjustments, it's not going to do it within an instant. It's not going to do it within that same day or that 24-hour period. That's just not how their database works. And so it says that a book was removed, and they issued a statement explaining that September 9th publication date was an incorrect and technical issue. An Amazon spokesperson clarified that the book was actually published late in the afternoon on September 10th after the shooting took place. Again, however, I published a book on Amazon, and it takes more than a few hours for your publication information to be updated within their system. So the next thing is AI. AI is starting to become very dangerous. So it says, as AI becomes more advanced, quote unquote, deep fake technology could be used to put a person's likeness or voice into false and misleading advertisements. This can create consumer confusion and damage the person's legacy. Also, AI doesn't have consent. So, a lack of consent. The core ethical issue is using an individual's persona for commercial profit without their consent, which is a violation of their personal autonomy and integrity. With deceased individuals, this is even more problematic as they can no longer provide or withhold consent. A third issue is commercial exploitation. So, with AI creating merchandise on a popular person's death or digital resurrections of their likeness is widely seen as morbid and opportunistic, just like this. This is very morbid, very opportunistic, and it can cause significant emotional distress to grieving family members and fans. Because that is the question. Why would you want to publish a book about something so horrific on the same day that it happens? That's a very morbid and very strange. It's just out of sync. It's just not right. It's not something that a person who has compassion, and see, AI is not human, so we can't make compassionate decisions based on human emotions. And this is where AI is getting out of hand. Also, too, it stated that digital resurrection uses artificial intelligence to create interactive digital avatars of a deceased individual. They can do this without informing the family or without informing anybody that's like legally over there, like a someone who has like an executor of their estate or power of attorney. AI would not consider that. It would just generate this type of media based on the algorithm that it's receiving within the system. So while the technology can offer comfort to the bereaved, it also raises significant ethical and psychological concerns. And so this is the last thing. So Amazon removed the likely AI generated book about Charlie Kirk that sparked conspiracies. Here's how the books were published so fast. And you can go and find that article, and it'll give you a little bit more explanation, just like I just told you, very similar to what I just explained. But there's a lot of concern. There's people who have talked about this for quite a while now. It says, forget AI apocalypse. This is a real threat. How dangerous is AI? AI is something else. Not only is it replacing humans in regards to our jobs, but it's now even developing into its own profit generating machine, because there is no author. That's the thing. There was no author. There is no author name. There is no author by the name of Anastasia J. Casey. This was all made up, and it's possibly made up by AI. So my thing is this: where were the profits going to go to? Who was going to collect the profits? Was it just going to go to Amazon? And then, that means that Amazon would have been generating income without the consent of Charlie Kirk's estate, his wife, his children. This is crazy, y'all. This is crazy. It's so, sad. It's based off of something that happened the other day, and it's such a sad situation. But this is very alarming.
Before the Lahaina fires, there was a book published one day before the Lahaina fires. Or Lahaina, whatever. I don't think I need to say the point of all this, do I? Anyway, obviously at this point we are getting totally fucked with.
So everything that went down was yesterday, September 10th, correct? Today is September 11th. Everything that went down was yesterday, September 10th. So if yesterday was September 10th, how on God's green earth is there a book with this title if everything happened yesterday? I would love to hear your opinions in the comments below. And if we scroll down and we look at the published date, how could a book with this title be published a day before the event even happens? Would anybody love to chime in on how y'all think that happened? I think that my theory is correct. Wow, what a messy job. Just messy. Wow, y'all. And if you think I made this up, go look it up for yourself. I saw it in the comments somewhere, and I was like, there's no way that exists. And for the published date to be September 9th, but the event happened on September 10th. Oh, okay.
And the question still remains, y'all. Even if it was AI generated, how was it able to know that killing was going to happen the day? This is weird. Can AI start to predict events before it happens? And to me, I feel like that's demonic, because there's no other way that AI can predict something unless it's able to monitor a person's activities or conversations or purchases, or track their GPS, their location, to find out what they, and to generate its own ability to collect clues. That's so weird. This is all very weird. This is a little out there, because remember that there was this person that asked, I don't know if it was a child or an adult, that asked AI of a certain chat server to generate an image of what they looked like, and they generated it took its command and it generated an image, and it had a name by the spelling of LOAB. Now, I'm not gonna say, because this, I just feel like it's really demonic, but we really need to look at certain things moving forward on the positives and what is looking like a lot of negatives with AI, because this is all very weird.